Pending home sales fall to a record low, and consumers have slashed their spending. Today, I read an interesting article on foxbusiness.com written by Eric Ravel titled, U.S. Pending Home Sales Fall to Record Low in January. According to the author, contracts to buy previously owned homes fell to a record low in January as prospective buyers were constrained by higher mortgage rates and house prices. The National Association of Realtors said on Thursday that its pending home sales index declined by 4.6% last month to 70.6, which is an all-time low. Here are my thoughts. This is not good news. There is so much that depends on the housing market. It doesn't matter if we are talking about employment for realtors, mortgage loan originators, mortgage processors, appraisers, home inspectors, and title company staff. Then there are all of the businesses that benefit when people buy and sell homes. After people buy a new home, it is common for people to buy paint, new window treatments, new appliances, etc. When homes aren't changing hands, this could slow down. What's crazy to me is the interest rate environment right now is more normal. It's just that people got accustomed to artificially low rates for far too long, and now they don't know what to do in a more normal interest rate environment. Here's my concern. Unemployment is still relatively low, and the stock market is still near all-time highs, even though we've had some down days recently. I'm going to ask all of you a question. Feel free to answer in the comment section below. If the pending home sales index hit an all-time low as described in this article, how bad could this get if we see a correction in the stock market or if we see unemployment tick up? Now, there were a lot of comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. The first commenter said, "It's not the mortgage rates, it's the prices. Rates are at the 75-year average or even slightly below that." The next commenter said, "With consumer sentiment declining, no one wants to be stuck in an overpriced house with a high mortgage rate, and then see the economy and housing market collapse." Now, this next commenter is a bit sarcastic. He said, "This has nothing to do with the fact that homes purchased for $550,000 3 years ago are now selling for $800,000. Another commenter said, "The housing market will not recover until interest rates are below 5%. With the cost of everything else being so high, purchasing and making those high mortgage payments are not sensible or possible for most people." Now, the last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, "Prices are too high, and the legalized extortion from banks and insurance companies have slowly cooked the golden goose." I'm going to chime in about that last comment. I'm sure the rising cost of insurance may play a factor in some areas more than others. There are parts of the country where people simply can't afford their home insurance anymore. If they have a mortgage, they can't drop it. I'm sure this is impacting some people on a fixed income and causing some financial distress. Once insurance companies raise rates, I personally doubt they will reduce them in the future. But what do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube with a gong. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Here's some potentially bad news about the U.S. economy. I read this on Yahoo Finance, put out by the Associated Press and written by Christopher Rugaber and Ann DiNocencio, titled, "Tariff Threats and Uncertainty Could Weigh on Consumers, Drag Down U.S. Economy, Government Report Suggests." The authors of this article referenced data released Friday, which showed that consumers slashed their spending by the most since February 2021, even as their incomes rose. The authors said ongoing tariff threats from Washington and potentially sweeping government job cuts have darkened consumers' mood and may be weighing on an otherwise mostly healthy economy. Here are my thoughts. I wouldn't say we have an otherwise mostly healthy economy. Credit card debt is near an all-time high, and so is our national debt. Buy now, pay later loans are exploding in popularity. The real estate market is in gridlock. Many Americans are struggling to afford the rising cost of goods and services. We have seen countless corporations laying off in the past year. The list just goes on and on. Getting back to the article, the author said there's a positive note, which is inflation cooled, but Donald Trump's import tax threats will likely push prices higher, according to some economists. My friends, I think there is a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. Just look at what happened today with the stock market. After Donald Trump got into an argument with President Zelensky in the Oval Office, the S&P 500 turned negative. Now it rebounded toward the end of the day. I just point this out as an example of the uncertainty going on right now and how it can have consequences at times. There were over 3,000 comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. The first commenter said, people like business owners like a level of certainty, but with the mass confusion and chaos right now by the administration, people naturally pull back spending, highlighted by the big ticket cost items. The tariffs yo-yo and no real policy is hurting now and will hurt even more if those tariffs actually go into effect. Another commenter said, we've cut way back on spending since before Christmas. Markets are forward-looking and don't like chaos and uncertainty. Trump is all of that and more. Market indices are coming off all-time highs. I think a Trump slump of at least 20% by fall is inevitable. The next commenter said, grocery prices are still going up at a rate higher than the government would like you to believe. It's odd how the government's favorite gauge to measure inflation, the CPI, doesn't include energy, food, or actual housing costs. Another commenter said, there were no large cost of living increases for Social Security beneficiaries this year. It was modest and, in my honest opinion, lower than actual inflation. My Social Security went up $27 per month after deductions for the increased cost of Medicare, and my rent alone went up $300 per month. We all know food is up a lot too. The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, I have curtailed my spending to absolute necessities only. I wouldn't so much as buy a 50-cent candy bar considering the current economic uncertainty and volatility. My cash is permanently parked. Well, my friends, these commenters always have interesting things to say. Please always keep in mind these are the thoughts of the commenters and not me. For me, it is interesting to see what some people in America are thinking. I'm curious, what do you think about all of this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.